everyone, I'm Rebecca McLaughlin-Duane, and this week we are guests at a Ramadan iftar hosted by the Sheikh Mohammed Centre for Cultural Understanding. We'll break the day's fast with members of the expat community keen to learn more about the traditions of the holy month. Plus, we speak to the organisers about the traditions of the Emirati culture.
We are here to answer any questions for anyone from anywhere.
Later in the show, we'll hear from a Lebanese film director who scooped the jury prize at the Cannes Film Festival. But first, Salim Essaid went along to find out how people are sharing what they have with their local communities at this time of year.
Stocking a humble refrigerator is sometimes all it takes to bring a community together.
Nice bananas.
Well, this cold cabinet is part of the Ramadan Sharing Fridges project in Dubai, where fridges are filled for about a month by community members and local businesses. The idea is that people who are fasting, especially those working mostly outdoors in the high summer temperatures, can help themselves to food and drink, to sustain themselves during the day, or to allow them to break their fast at sunset.
During Ramadan, it's nice to give back to the community. So at the moment, we're loading up the fridge to fill up with things like laban and juice and bananas and little biscuits, just for them to have something during the day, well, after iftar.
The Fridge Project was born in 2014, when a Moroccan mother and her husband, living in the Jumeirah district, wanted to bestow an important life lesson upon their family.
We wanted to teach our children the value of giving and sharing, thinking about the less fortunate people around us. So we had a spare fridge and we thought, let's put it outside our house and fill it up with cold drinks for the workers. Do you have any? And smiling at them and asking them, how are you? How was your day? And just get to know them as you do with other people.
And in the past 2 years, thanks to word spreading on Facebook, the concept has been adopted by people in nearby communities, resulting in more than 180 fridges on the streets of the UAE this Ramadan. Connecting with people you pass by every day is where it all starts. But the spirit of giving is not just happening in local neighborhoods like these. It's taking place on a global level, which the Red Crescent in the UAE has been doing for over 30 years. Having delivered tens of thousands of boxes of clothes in the past year to countries like Yemen, Syria, Sudan, and Mauritania. The Preservation of Grace is a company based in Abu Dhabi, with about 25 employees, and it falls under the umbrella of the voluntary humanitarian organization, the Emirates Red Crescent. The clothes, which are mostly donated by local residents, include everything from t-shirts and jeans to wedding dresses. Quality items are cleaned, then categorized by gender and size, before being packaged and sent off to those in need.
To fix the clothes for the poor people or for anyone like they need it. So of course we feel good, we feel better for them.
In addition to Western and Asian garments being donated by volunteers to the project, the charity's director, Sultan al-Shahi, is proud that Emirati robes for men and women, called kanduras and abayas, are also being dispatched to those less fortunate.
It's our clothes, it's our traditional clothes. So if we are sent that clothes for them, it's like a representative our clothes. When they wear it, they say this is coming from UAE. This is a good point also for us.
More than 20 years ago, this centre was set up to bridge the cultural divide between the local community and the more than 200 nationalities living and working in the UAE. It's a place that hosts regular Q&A sessions, and it's a forum where no topic is off limits. The openness of the Emirati hosts is something of a surprise to many visiting residents and tourists who come in their thousands every year from all corners of the world. And the interactive sessions present them with the perfect opportunity to ask some burning questions.
I think I would like to ask them about how they keep their values or their culture, because Dubai seems to be such a modern city with lots of international influences. So I think it's not so easy to preserve your local culture when you have that.
During Ramadan, guests are taken for a tour of the local mosque. And as the sun sets, visitors attend a private iftar meal, where they break their fast with their local hosts and enjoy national dishes of rice, fish and meat called machbous, and the local donut dessert of legemat, served with a date syrup. To find out more about the centre and its educational programmes under the banner of Open Doors, Open Minds, Inspire sat down with its senior cultural presenter, Rashid Al-Tamimi. Rashid, Ramadan Kareem to you.
Ramadan to you and to everyone.
You're asked a lot of questions by curious expats who come here on a weekly basis. So what are the most common misconceptions about Ramadan, Islam and Emiratis?
There's a lot of people, they have this concept of different ideas about Islam, about Ramadan and everything. And down here, we don't only just talk about religion, which is we just give them the basics, we also take them to the mosque. We are the only center, which is I'm proud to be part of it, 20 years ago, that's basically opened up the mosque for non-Muslim to go inside. Just like us, when we travel to Europe and go everywhere, we can go to the churches, we can go and see how you practice your religion. We also had the right to say, you know what, why don't you let them come in and see how we practice it and watch the call of the prayer 5 times a day.
And what's the most challenging topic to respond to? Do you believe that people are self-censoring as not to be disrespectful?
No, we are here to answer any questions for anyone from anywhere.
What's the most surprising question you've been asked?
There is so many actually surprising questions. One of them, why you have 4 wives, why woman, she can drive here while in Saudi Arabia they don't drive, why you wear white and black and white.
What is the answer to why you wear white?
Because this is the material that we used to have. Frankly, we weren't wearing white in the older days. We used to dye them according to the sand dunes, the areas where we used to live, as camouflage for our enemies not to spot us. Think logically, we had tribal wars here in the older days, so that's why how we survived.
Traditional Bedouin iftar dishes are being prepared and shared this Ramadan. What's one that has particular cultural significance for you?
Well, I think most of us, we love the dish called haris. I used to see my grandmother where she used to, either it's by veal or chicken or another type of meal, and they used to beat it, and they put the wheat and oil. And she used to beat it from the morning for at least an hour, like a porridge, let's say. And that's one of our favorite dishes here in the UAE.
Lastly, let me ask you, now you're sharing knowledge in every single session, but tell me, what have you learned personally?
That mixing with other nationality, and by giving them the right information and the message in a nicer way, that we change 180 or more degrees from them to look at the Middle East or look at our religion or look at our tradition and everything. And now we broke these walls, and not only that, we build bridges between us and them. And that is the happiness that I could ever can give to the center or to my country as well.
Thank you for speaking to Inspire. Shukran.
Shukran to you as well.
Lebanese actor and director Nadine Labaki scooped a major accolade in Cannes, and the film, which explores the slums of Lebanon through the eyes of a child, is being lauded for the performances given by its cast of mostly untrained actors. At the 71st edition of the Cannes Film Festival, Nadine Labaki's stirring movie Kafarnam received a 15-minute standing ovation at its premiere screening. Drawing particular attention was the performance of 12-year-old Zain Al-Rafia, who plays a youngster divorcing his parents. The win may prove life-changing for the rising star, who was discovered living on the streets of Beirut, and the rest of the cast made up of many underprivileged and refugee children.
I mean, it's a huge victory for us. It's a victory in the real sense of the term. It was amazing to see Zain, you know, the small kid who a few days ago didn't even have papers, didn't have, you know, he's practically invisible. He's completely excluded from the system, who's now being, you know, lifted and being so much loved and so appreciated.
The film marks the third feature for Labaki, and her win this year came amid much discussion about gender equality at the film festival and a protest which included actresses Salma Hayek and Cate Blanchett.
As women, we all face our own unique challenges, but we stand together on these steps today as a symbol of our determination and our commitment to progress.
And whilst Labaki expressed her pride in the progression of equality, she voiced her dislike for positive discrimination, and she was unequivocal in wanting to let her work speak for itself.
I would be very irritated to know that I'm here because I'm a woman. I'm very proud to be able to express myself as a woman here, and I'm hoping that I'm here because the film is good, not because I'm a woman.
Well, that's a wrap for this week. Before I leave you, here's what caught the attention of the Inspire team on social media. Hiba, a blogger from Lebanon, was all dressed up with somewhere to go at the Cannes Film Festival in the south of France. Dubai-based Medel prepared and distributed iftar meals with the Emirates Red Crescent for Ramadan. And this group of expats in the UAE abstained from food from sunrise to sunset before meeting for iftar with their fasting colleagues and friends.